Let's talk about visual processing. The very first stage where light is transformed into a neural signal is in the photoreceptor cells of the retina, in the back of your eye. The lens and cornea at the front of your eye bend light in order to focus it on the retina. Failure to focus the light at the correct distance, where the photoreceptors are located, will result in images being blurry, nearsightedness or farsightedness. Photoreceptors retain a special protein called an opsin, which absorbs light. And this absorption changes the conformation of the protein, initiating a second messenger cascade in the cell, which eventually alters the state of ion channels in the membrane, changing the voltage across the membrane and altering the release of neurotransmitter by the photoreceptor. It's time to introduce a concept that's very important throughout the visual system, called a receptive field. Imagine light bouncing off an object in the world and traveling from that point to the back of your eyeball, where it hits the opsin protein in a photoreceptor and is absorbed. Each photoreceptor is getting hit by light from a single point in space. So the photoreceptor will respond to light coming from that location, but won't be affected by light from other locations in the visual scene. The part of the world that can affect the neuron is called the receptive field of that neuron. The neuron is receptive to visual stimuli from that part of the visual field. Since the photoreceptors are in the eye, if your eye moves, the receptive field for that photoreceptor moves with it to a new part of space, at the same location relative to the center of your gaze. This is referred to as being in retinotopic coordinates, meaning that it's defined relative to the center of the retina, or the center of your gaze. The size of the receptive field of a photoreceptor is quite small, but as you move up the visual hierarchy, each stage tends to pool over multiple synaptic inputs, and so receptive fields get progressively larger. The flow of visual information through the brain and how the response properties of neurons evolve as you move up the visual hierarchy will be the subject of the next video.